Good morning to you all and welcome to this session. The Clausius theorem, which was discussed in the previous video, a little bit recapitulation of same concept here. The Clausius is invented that whenever the heat is transferred of dq at absolute temperature T, the ratio of this is same for all the reversible process that is he discovered. So this is writing as a in this form, which is equal to 0. If you write together all the cycles in such a way that it is equal to the 0, this all the cycles can be write as a cyclical integral of a reversible is dq by d is equal to the 0. This is the Clausius theorem. Okay, next topic is the Clausius inequality. In this video we are going to discuss the Clausius inequality and introduction of the entropy and showing that entropy is a property. Next, the entropy change of a system, that is the entropy change in a reversible process and entropy change of the irreversible process, how it will be, we are going to see. We see in the sequence only, one by one. Okay, the third topic is the Clausius inequality. Before going to the Clausius inequality, we need to clear that the concept of Carnot cycle, Carnot principle. From the Carnot principle, that is, I am writing, reversible heat engine efficiency is more than that of any other engine efficiency. That is the Carnot principle. What he said, that it is impossible to construct a heat engine that is getting more efficiency than that of the reversible heat engine when the both operating at a same constant temperatures. Okay, from the Carnot principle, no heat engine getting more efficiency than that of the reversible heat engine, that is impossible. So reversible heat engine is getting more efficiency. Okay, by using the Carnot principle, the Clausius inequality, what he is telling, a reversible heat engine. Now let the consider two heat engines. One is a reversible heat engine, another one is a irreversible heat engine. A reversible heat engine which receives the energy as a heat of a Q1 amount from a source at a source of a reservoir at a temperature T1, and a part of energy is converted into and it does a work W, and left of the energy is rejected to a sink, that is a Q2 amount of heat at a sink temperature T2. Similarly, a reversible heat engine also working between the same thermal reservoirs and receives a same amount of Q1 energy as a heat from the source, and it works and it does a work, a W dash amount of work, and Q2 dash of heat is rejected to the sink. From the Carnot, if you elaborate this in terms of the Q's, that is the heat, it can be right for a reversible Q2 by Q1 is greater than that of 1 by Q2 dash by Q1. From this it is very clear that a reversible heat engine is getting a more work than that of any other heat engine. So W is more than that W dash. Because of that, example, if it is 100, 80 of W is converted in heat and only 20 of heat is lost to the sink. Similarly, for irreversible also, it is collecting 100 kilojoules of heat is receiving, and only 70 of kilojoules of work is converting as a work, and remaining is 30 kilojoules of heat is rejected to the a source, to the sink. Let it is be. From this it is very clear that heat rejection through irreversible heat engine is more than that of the reversible heat engine. Reversible heat engine. From this, if we simplify also, it will get that is the heat rejected by the irreversible engine is getting more heat loss than that of the reversible heat engine. Okay, now we are taking the Clausius theorem, that is the cyclic integral of, for reversible cycle, dou q by t is equal to 0. Can be write dou q can be write a q1 by a t1 minus q2 by t2 is equal to 0, because this is a reversible. For irreversibles, if you write q1 by t1 minus q2 by t2, this is the q2 dash, this one is a q2 dash. We already know q2 dash is more than that of q2, so when this value is more, it will come as a less than or equal to a 0. This both can be write commonly as a cyclic integral of dq by t is a less than or equal to 0. This equality sign for a reversible process, the inequality sign for a irreversible process. This is the Clausius inequality. A meaning is, this is the Clausius inequality. The cyclic integral of dq by t is equal to 0 for a reversible cycle, is less than or equal to 0 for irreversible cycle. The greater than 0, it won't be possible, impossible cycle. Okay, the next is the introduction of the entropy. From the first law, when the first law is applied to a cycle, we all know that the sum of the all heat transfer is equal to the sum of the work transfer. When the first law is applied to a process, dq minus dw is equal to the du. This is the du. Here exists a property called a internal energy. U is called as a internal energy. In similar way, in second law of thermodynamics also, this is the first law of thermodynamics. In similar way, the second law of thermodynamics, when we apply to a cycle integral of dq by dt is equal to 0. This is from a Clausius theorem. When the second law is applied to a particular process, then comes if it is a particular process, if it is applied to a reversible process, then comes a dq by dt is equal to the ds. There exists another property called entropy. Here S is the entropy. For irreversible process, dq by t is in such a way for a irreversible process. For irreversible process, the entropy tends to increase. This can be, we can introduce the entropy. We can see in detail next topics. The next topic in this video is the entropy is a property. To prove this entropy is a property, before that we have to prove that the change in the entropy is not dependent upon the path, it only depends upon the state only. Then only we can say the entropy is a property. For that, let us consider a system is at a point 1, is changing from point 1 to 2 by a reversible process. R1, and it can be come to the its original position by another reversible path R2 from 2 to 1 we seen here. Okay, from the Clausius theorem, a cyclic integral of a reversible is the dq by t is equal to the 0 from a Clausius theorem. It can be split this as a in this way. Cycle can be split because the cycle is consisted of two process, that is R1, second one process is a R2, which is a dq by a t plus this is 1 to 2, and second process is a 2 to 1 followed by the R2 process dq by t can be write as a in this way. Just I am writing a simplification only. We can write 1 to 2. If you take this term into the right hand side, 2 to 1, because this is a reversible process. If you write as a 1 to 2, 1 to 2, only the magnitude will be the same, only the direction will change. The minus will be get to a positive 1 to 2 for a R2 process dou q by t. We write R1 process 1 to 2 by a reversible process. If you see carefully this, from this we can understand that the magnitude of the dq by t is same for the both the path R1 and R2. It does not depends upon the path followed by the system. It is only depends upon the state of the system. So it is a point function. We can say the properties are a point function, hence the entropy is a property. It is very simple concept. From this we can say it is a property. Why? Because this magnitude are the same. Okay, so it is independent of the path followed by the system. Only it depends upon the state. The states are the point functions. All the point functions are the property. So entropy is said to be a property. We can see next topic. Okay, the next topic is the change of entropy is a system. Change of entropy in a system. Let consider a system is changing from 1 to 2 through a process A. That one is reversible and it reverses back to initial position by a process B, that also a reversible process. And if the system is changing from 2 to 2C1 is a irreversible process. 1A to B1 is a reversible cycle, and 1A to C1 is a irreversible cycle. The entropy change of a reversible process can be write as a ds is equal to a dq by a dt for a reversible process. From the Clausius theorem, a cyclic integral of a reversible process dq by t is equal to 0. If you apply this for this equation, we can write the equation as a dou q by t. Same, this a cycle can be split into a two process. I am writing that two reversible process, that is a process A, that is a reversible process, and process B, that also a reversible process, dq by t is equal to a 0. This can be write as a dq by t integral 1 to 2 of a reversible A process is equal to the m minus of 2 to 1, that is a B process, dq by a t. This is a equation 1. From the Clashes inequality, for a irreversible process, dou q by t is less than or equal to 0. If you split, you can write as a 1 to 2, a reversible A process, that can be dq by a t, plus irreversible process is 2 to 1 by a C path, that is a irreversible path, 2 to 1, that can be dq by t is less than or equal to 0. From this equation 1, from the equation 1, in this place we can write this. So I am writing here minus of B 2 to 1 as a dq by t plus integral of 2 to 1 dq by t as a less than or equal to a 0. Okay, from this equation, for any reversible process can be write as a dq by t as equal to the ds. Here B is also a reversible process. In this place we can write ds as a ds of a B, that is a 2 to 1 minus of dq, right? Everything is same, that of dq by t is less than or equal to, which is the process of C process. If you observe, this is the, we can write as a ds, entropy change for a 2 to 1, entropy change 2 to 1 is independent of, this is a property, entropy is a property, so the change of entropy is the same for the reversible and irreversible process. So we can write as a ds as it is. If you convert, for C process also it will be the same ds, because S is the property dou q by dou t 2 to 1 of a irreversible process C is less than or equal to 0. If you take it this term dou q by t as a ds, a cyclic integral at C process and C. From this you can say entropy change will be always increases for a irreversible process. The entropy change in a system for a irreversible process is that ds is greater than dq by t. For a reversible process, entropy change ds is equal to the dq by t. Thank you.